friendship. It could be a courtship or a relationship, whatever, a romantic connection, whatever you want to call it. Regardless, to me, and nobody has to agree with me, there is no excuse for betrayal. There is no excuse in this world for betrayal. Loyalty is key. Loyalty is bond. And I know that we live in a world that is full of disloyal people. But then there are some loyal people out there. It may not be that many, but there are. But I don't feel, and nobody has to agree with me, but I don't feel there's ever a legitimate reason to betray somebody. Um, the reason why people betray people is because their heart is not with that person. And I'm not saying they have to love the person, but even if you like somebody as a friend, um, why would you go behind their back and trash talk them to people who don't like them? Because if a person does that, evidently they don't like them either. They don't like that person either. So I guess my point is, why should you accept something toxic back into your life or form a bond back with something that does not share your morals, your values, your ethics, and your definition of love and your definition of loyalty? And then with those types of people, they'll come back a knocking, come back a knocking, and they want you to make a life altering decision based off of how they now say they feel about you. But they didn't feel like that about you during the betrayal. And even as it pertains to relationships, they didn't feel like that about you when they were wallowing in the bed with other people. They weren't thinking about, well, they may have been thinking about you, but they were actually glad to be doing something evil against you. So now that they may feel some level of remorse, people will come back and act like, well, you're supposed to make a decision for your life based off of how I feel because I now love you. I now need you. I now want you. I now value you. I now see who you are. But that's how you feel. That's how that person feels. What about how you feel? You need to make decisions for your lives based off of how you feel, not how the person that betrayed you feels. Because feelings can be like the weather. They can change in a New York minute, just like that. And it's kind of like feelings can change. There's just no other way to put it. And I think that anybody that has ever been in a relationship that didn't work out, that feelings can change. When you go through a breakup, yes, there's heartache and pain, but I don't think you ever feel about the person the way that you once felt. So feelings can change. And I'm sure there are those of you out there, you were like, when you look back over some of your relationships, you may think, oh, I didn't think there would ever come a time when I wouldn't be in love with this person or love this person the way I used to. I just never thought, and you never thought. But your feelings did change, most likely as a result of a betrayal, a severe betrayal, which to me all betrayals are severe because they can be life threatening. A betrayal can cost you your life in more ways than one. Not only just as it pertains to your health, but what if they betray you with some psycho out there and the psycho wants to come kill you? Or, people have had horrific things to happen to them because the person that they were involved with cheated on them with somebody that was mentally unstable. You know? Um, there's no excuse for betrayal. I don't see how people can look at people the same way after a betrayal. I don't think they ever do. I think that a lot of times, even when people decide, if they decide to get back together, or if they decide to try to make the marriage work, it's just still not the same. I don't feel. I don't feel it's ever the same. I don't feel that if it's a man that you ever look at that woman the same way, and if it's a woman that you ever look at that man the same way, because betrayal is to me that's the ultimate disrespect. And I'm not saying wounds cannot heal. I'm not saying that that forgiveness cannot be take effect. But I'm just saying, how do you bounce back from betrayal, especially within a marriage? And I'm not in any way targeting anybody, just saying, oh well, how could you take this person back? No, that's none of my business. What I'm saying is that realistically, if people are really real with themselves today, you don't look at that person the same way. I don't think. For anybody who does, hey, my hat is off to you because you got something I ain't got. Because I don't know about you guys, and I am in no way trying to influence anybody to be like I am, but I just don't play that betrayal mess. I just don't play that cheating mess, and I don't play that mess where somebody can go out there and do me dirty, and then just because now they feel remorse in their heart, they act like I need to make a life altering decision based off of them now trying to proclaim love for me. I just don't play that mess. Because my question would be, well, where was the love when you were out there trash talking me or slandering my name or trying to put a knife in my back? That's I'm just throwing that out there as an example because anybody that knows anything about me knows I don't play that mess. I just don't play that. I know I can't control another person's actions, but I can control whether or not if I allow that person back into my life. And I personally, I'm the type of person, I do believe in forgiveness because Father promotes that. But I'm the type of person, once I take out the trash, I just don't believe in going back to the landfill to bring it back into wherever I reside. I just don't believe in that. But, and I'm not saying, and see, that's another thing, you guys. Um, Even in marriages and stuff, marriage is for better or for worse. So, um, you know what I'm thinking? The only legitimate reason that Father gave for divorce is sexual betrayal. Isn't that something? That's how severe it is. And a lot of people may argue that and say, oh, well, no, there's no legitimate reason for divorce. But there is a scripture in the Bible where Jesus said, saving for the cause of fornication. Fornication is sexual immorality. Sexual immorality is sexual sin. It's sexual intercourse with a person that someone is not legally married to. And that was my understanding of the scripture. Well, maybe somebody else interpreted it a different way. I'm not about to debate about it. It's a touchy subject. Um, it's a sensitive subject because a lot of people out there are divorced and they have probably found who they feel are their true loves or whatever. So then when people start talking to them about that, they're going to go, no, wait a minute, am I standing in error just because I divorced somebody that betrayed me and then I found my true love? It's a touchy subject. I'm going to leave it alone. But it for anybody that wants to read that scripture, you can Google it and find it. It is located in the Bible where Father said something about saving for the cause of fornication. And when I looked up that word saving, and the definition from my recollection was accept, meaning accept for the cause of fornication. But I'm going to leave that alone because I know some people go left with it, some people go right with it, meaning there are different viewpoints about it. There's different interpretations, even as it pertains to the scripture itself. So I'm going to leave that alone, and I'll leave that for people to go to Father about and talk to Father about what he meant when he said that. Is there a legitimate reason for divorce? Because I'm telling you, I would think that, and don't go by what I say, but I'm just talking about my personal feelings. I would think that betrayal is a legitimate reason to get anybody out of your life. I mean, come on now. Because um, you mean to tell me that a person would have to stay married to somebody and have sexual relations with somebody that just crawled out of the gutter with somebody else, meaning somebody else's bed? Mm-mm. Because number one, you're putting your health at risk because um, you're just putting your health at risk. You don't know what the person that they slept with had, and then they come back home to you. You know, and you don't want to put your lives in danger. You don't want to put your health in danger. You don't want to put your sexual health in danger. You know, by taking somebody back that went out there and wallowed with a pack of nasty dogs, and then now they want to come back to somebody like you. Somebody that's clean and care about their sexual health. No, mm-mm. Because where was all this love for you when they were wallowing and especially if it was unprotected sex with all these